Hey, babe, will you bring me the charger and a box?
Hey guys, welcome back to the No Holds Barred Network with another episode of Under the Ropes. I'm your host, as always, the queen of the indies, Tiffany. And today I'm actually really excited because we've been trying to do this for a little bit. I brought on my good friend, Cole Radrick. What's going on?
Hey, how we doing?
I'm good. I'm so glad that you came on here finally. We get to chat. I love
I
it.
know, I know. It took a little bit. I apologize.
No, you're good. You're good. I'm glad you're here. I've been wanting to get you onto the podcast for a while, actually, which is great. So much to talk about because you've been
Absolutely.
Mr. Busy. I feel like you're all over the place.
I'm trying to be, honestly. It's weird being really, really, really busy. And
Yeah.
still
No,
trying to adjust to that.
it's so good. It's so good. Guys, if you're new here to the channel on the No Holds Bar Network, here on the series of Under Ropes, here I interview everything independent wrestling, whether it's wrestlers, referees, promoters, anything behind the scenes, I got you covered. If you guys have any questions for Cole, I'm sure he'll be more than happy to answer anything, so please drop them in the chat. I already see a question for you in the chat. But before that, guys, make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff as well. So our boy Conrad from Everything Pro Wrestling, go check him out as well. He wants to know, whose jersey are you rocking?
Andrew Luck, number 12, Colts. Uh, played for only, I think, 6 seasons, left with over 4,500 passing yards in his final season. So always got to rep the OG Andrew Luck. Maybe he'll come back one day. Until then, we got Carson Wentz.
Awesome. Yeah, he kind of guessed that it was luck too. So how awesome is that?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Okay, so I'd like to start off with my interviews. For the fans that might not know you, I'd love to know, like, how did you get into professional wrestling?
So I got into professional. The first memory I ever have of wrestling in my older brother and sister's room, and they had Raw's War is on the TV, and my mom came and grabbed me out of the room because that was too violent for me at such a young age, and instead we just went to her bedroom and we watched Celebrity Deathmatch. Uh, for some reason, that added up to her that was more suitable for a young child than wrestling, but that's fair. Then honestly, like, I remember my dad had like a party at our house, not like an adult party, but just like a get together. And he wanted to keep me busy, so he ended up putting up, like, the Undertaker had like a DVD in 2004
Oh, wow.
playing on DirecTV pay-per-view, and he literally just bought it, and I just sat down and watched it, and I became obsessed through then. Like, WrestleMania 21 had just happened right around that point, so I had watched all of that. Got really big into Rey Mysterio, and just kind of took off from there.
Wow. Man, wrestling death. Oh my God. Like, you just like brought me back. Whatever happened to that show?
I know, right?
All right. Like, whatever happened? They should like resurrect that. I wouldn't mind watching it.
I thought Celebrity Deathmatch was having a comeback.
Yeah, I thought it was coming back too. That I remember. That was fun. That was definitely a fun show. Oh wow, that's so crazy. Uh, so do you remember like your first independent show that you got to watch?
Yeah. So the thing is I think I may have been younger
Mm-hmm.
than that when that initially happened, because my dad took me to an independent show, or maybe it was right around the same age. It took me to an independent show in my hometown, and there's actually like footage because they filmed it for the local TV station. And I sat in the front row and I watched wrestlers like Mike DeWeese and Tiny Tim and not the original one, but like the Patriot and all those people. And like I was like, oh, this is so cool. Like, watching wrestling in real time is like really dope. I had like these little pieces of paper that said, "We want tables" and whatnot, and it's like a very tiny promotion, so obviously they're not going to have tables. They had like cookie sheets and stuff like that. But like that was the first time I ever went and saw an independent show, and I think I went again when like fourth or fifth grade, and
Oh wow.
I started really trying to dive deep into the scene.
That's so awesome. Mouse is in the chat. Shout out to he goes, why this guy?
I hate Robert so much.
You know, I was gonna wait till later, but you know what? We're gonna bring this up now since he's in the chat. I love it. I love him so much. So I love the fact of when you guys are doing your road trips and the road donuts and all this. This all like started a while ago. So now I've been asking anybody that gets in the car with the road donuts. So let's first of all, let's go with this. What is your favorite flavor of road donuts when you're traveling with Mouse?
Me and Mouse always only get powdered sugar. That's the choice.
There is none. It's like there is no other choice.
So I'm a weirdo. Like I'm very, very, very peculiar when it comes to food. So like, if he got chocolate covered donuts, I probably wouldn't eat them. The powdered sugar ones are the best.
Really, really. Okay. I like the powder ones too. I like them too. But I love seeing like the photos. I think it always cracks me up. Again, you guys are traveling when you guys come to Jersey and you go to like JCW or you're going off to the H2O building. Like I love seeing the photos that you guys are all like taking with Billy and him, and it's like, oh god, this guy's driving. Like this actually makes me smile and laugh to watch you guys actually do this.
I'm the best driver in the car. Mouse doesn't want to admit it. Mouse is better when it comes to like duration of time, and I will not argue with that. Mm-hmm. That man I'll be like, hey man, wake me up in 2 hours and I'll drive the rest of the 6, and he'll wake me up in 4 hours. I only have to drive 2. He's pretty cool like that. But where I succeed is when he gives me 2 hours, I get it done in an hour and 40 minutes.
Right.
You know, I get it done. He gets the traveling done, but I get the driving done. You know what I mean?
Damn.
When we're running behind, who do you think they put behind the wheel? Obvious.
So who's the worst driver of everybody when you're getting in the car you do with these road trips?
I don't want to. We're just going to leave that one alone.
Okay.
Mouse will know probably who I'm talking about.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Damn, I was going to say.
There's been a couple where me and Mouse both were like, I don't know. hey, I think me and him both can get this. I know me and him are both sleep deprived, but I think it's a little bit.
Okay, so since we're talking road trip, give me one of your best road trip stories. There's got to be something funny that's happened or something that, you know, that just sticks out in your brain.
I mean, it's not funny, I guess. I mean, it is, but it's really weird sometimes to be on a road trip and you wake up and it's like 3:30 in the morning and all you see is Robert rocking out behind the wheels like the Jeff Hardy theme song, just over and over and over. He's just shaking, and you're like, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "What's up, brother? We're doing it. What are we doing?" Like, okay, man, I get it. Like, all right, you're awake. There's always like just funny conversations that happen. Honestly, singing New York was me singing New York to Robert was pretty funny.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I'm sure, because some of those drives are long that you guys do. Like what has been like the longest that you guys been in the car driving?
Texas.
How many hours?
Look, Robert's the time guy. I just show up whenever he show up. I think it was like 16.
Oh wow, that's a lot.
So if it was 14 from his house, it's 16 from me because I had to drive 2 hours to get to work.
Right.
But I think it was like 16. And then what sucked about, I mean, I love Texas. I cannot wait to go back there later this month. Legit love Texas. But what sucked about Texas was driving back up. And we left the show at like, I don't know, 9:30, maybe sooner, maybe even like 8.
Mhm.
And we got something to eat. Like we got like fast food on the way. And by the time the sun came up the next morning, we had still didn't get out of Texas.
Wow.
And we had drove the whole way. And like I had taken over and it was like 2 a.m. And I was like, oh, we'll be out of Texas by, sometimes sun comes up. We were still like not the middle, but upper. Like, no, we won't. So I
Wow.
was like, I was trying to be a little bit of a speed demon and prove them wrong.
Wow. Wow.
We were about 20 miles out. So
That's
that was like, that sucked because it just took forever because Texas is so big.
yeah, yeah. No, it is. Rob Mouse says no sauce, Cole. He goes 14 hours to Houston, 19 hours to Laredo. Wow, wow. That's a lot.
Wait, 19 hours what?
From Laredo, Laredo.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
Laredo.
yeah. Wow, that's a lot to do.
No, yeah.
I give you guys credit.
But the thing was I'm pretty sure it was me, Braden, and Billy.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure me, him, and Braden got it done. And like sometimes like everybody in the car is tired and it's like everybody is just struggling to get through.
Mm-hmm.
We all made it pretty easily, I thought. Like, that's what's really dope riding with Mouse.
Right.
Is me and him are both like good enough drivers to where it's no longer like a struggle to get to and from. We both are like, I know I can go like 6.5 hours.
Mm-hmm.
If I can go longer, I can go longer. I know like it just makes everything so.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Really?
It definitely works when a bunch of you drive, definitely together. So wow, kudos to you guys. So let's bring back to like a little bit of basics. So where did the nickname Wild Heart come from?
So it honestly just came from a combinations of like one of my favorite like quotes, and it's a band or not a band title, an album title for those who have heart, and like there's a lot of things that tie into that. Wild Heart just comes from the fact that I do a lot of crazy, stupid things. I do demolition derbies for whatever reason, and I'm tearing my body up even faster than I already. Just it's something that has a personal meaning to me. Something that a lot of people have connected to and and have actually kind of grasped onto, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, like it's a way of describing myself in a way that I don't have to fully like. I don't know. It's weird that like I can kind of tell somebody that, and they can kind of watch me wrestle, and they can kind of pick up like I put everything I have when I go into the ring. Like I pretty much make myself an open book and try to express myself in the best way possible every time I wrestle.
Definitely.
And I don't know. It's something that I can't describe, but I can feel. If that's weird.
Okay, no, that's good. That's why I wanted to ask about that. So let's talk about the BSB brand. Okay, let's talk about Big Stark's brand, and like I want to know like what it means to you. I mean, we've had Mouse on, we've had Billy on, we talked about a little bit about it with them. So I'd love for you to tell us a little bit about what it means to you being a part of this.
It's really cool. Like BSB is, started with Mouse being like, hey, if I give you a knee pad, you quit. Sure, man, whatever. And it's like, and it is kind of like it's kind of like a whole bunch of like outcast losers, not losers, but like we're not like a group. We're not Team BSB. We're not on shows as Team BSB, but it's like, hey, if you need a t-shirt guy, if you go to Mouse can put you to any t-shirt guy, or if you need connections, or hey, you want to know how to get your foot into the door this way to go help set up the ring, Mouse could probably like point you in the direction of, or he can probably send you to me or Trey Lamar or other people. It's an opportunity to create a network for people if they need it. Mouse has open rings sometimes at like 6 p.m. and he's offering people to come down to the training Louisville with them, and like he does. Sometimes we do like a BSB show. Like it's really cool because like it is a network for people if they want to help and get better. Like you have people like me and Billy and Trey Lamar and Calvin Tate and Lee Moriarty and like, people like that. Like, if you just probably ask them, like, hey, like, how do I get better at this? Like, they might suggest something, or they would at least be able to point you in the right direction. You know what I mean? It's a good way and a good avenue for people to network and get connected. I'm an OG. Trey Lamar ain't. He came in a little bit later, but we still let him in, I guess. That's on us. But yeah, it's like a big family.
It really is. It's so cool to see. I like to watch, like, you guys, like, you train with each other. Like, I follow you guys all over, like, on social, and I see, like, the photos, like, Billy will be training, or I'll see, like, the rig, you guys, like, practicing, and, like, you even said working with others that could, elevate your craft with each other, which all help each other out, which is so nice. But even when you come out at shows, like, how does that feel, like, seeing people, whether they're cutouts of, like, your face or flags that have the BSB brand, like, all over at the shows? Like, it's got to be, like, an amazing feeling for you.
It was pretty dope, honestly. Like, I've never personally had the, like, face on the stick thing, and that's cool because this is not a face you want to blow up, like, put on a stick at all. So I appreciate that, but it's really dope seeing, like, people have my entrance, or like my entrance jacket. Like, some people have that on in the front row. And, like, that's really fucking sick. Or like they have the BSB flag. It's like they're throwing up that flag because they know, like, I represent that, and they throw up that flag because they not only believe in me, but they believe in us and what we're trying to do. Have as much fun and try to make everybody as better as possible.
Yeah, my best friend Brad, which when you saw me at the last JCW show, he was wearing your jacket. I mean, I go back over 30 years with my friend Brad, and it's just so cool, like, him watching, or like even like I'll go to his house and it'll show, oh, I got this new shirt, or I got this new thing, or whatever. I saw his jacket. I was like, that's so sick. That's such a great jacket. Like, how did that come about?
So Heel Turn Goods, Riggs hit me up out of nowhere, and he's like, hey man, I know we don't really know each other. I've had this idea. I'm a graphic designer and I like merch. He's like, I have this jacket idea, tell me what you think. And I was like, okay, yeah, like, thinking he was going to work on it and send it to me in, like, a week or two, or he might even forget about it. And he was literally sent me over the files of, like, my jacket besides, like, 2 or 3 things. And I was like, yo, what the fuck? He goes, yeah, like, he's like, we're going to sell these. And he's like, you can use it for your entrances. And, like, we worked out a whole deal. And I was like, yo, let's rock and roll. Like, what are we talking about here? You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
So that's kind of how that developed. And
it's a cool.
It just came out of nowhere, and he does a lot of good merch work. Like, go follow his Twitter. It's, I think, at Heel Turn Goods. It's really good quality. Like, anybody that bought the jacket can tell you, like, it's soft and breathable, and it's really good quality.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe we might have a version 2 sometime.
That's awesome. Yeah, we were definitely talking about that when we were outside in Ridgefield Park in New Jersey. Being Brad, I was like, this is really nice. And he had said exactly the same things that you said. He's like, it's light, it's great. Like, those are, like, very important things of quality that I think a lot of fans look for. Definitely me. So it is really, like, a nice jacket to have, especially, like, fall time and even, like, now in the heat and stuff. So that's so great. So another question that I always like to ask, I like to ask the wrestlers that come on here to recommend a match that, if a fan's never seen you wrestle before, what is the go-to match that they should go watch?
No. Man, honestly, I really, really enjoyed my matches with Braden Lee at GCW Ashes to Ashes. I really enjoyed my match with Matt Mikowski. I think it was A Great Summer. It was the JCW show.
Oh, the Dear Summer?
Yeah, Dear Summer.
Yeah.
The Great American Bash. I wrestled Yo-Yo. Yeah. So I just mixed the names. But yeah, Dear Summer versus Matt Mikowski was a real good one.
Yeah.
I really liked my match with K2B at Office of the Races. I'm not saying I'm having really good matches, but I feel like I'm having the best matches in a consistent basis as of late. So honestly, like those 3 matches probably would be the ones I'd recommend.
Awesome. Cody Jen's in the chat from NFW. Shout out to you. He said BSB is taking over. It really is. It's so nice to see that all over wherever like promotions that like you go to. You see it's like even watching on TV. It looks cool. And I love when you guys like go in front of the flags, like the photos. Like it's so cool. That's why like the photographers like Mouse and Earl and Chris are just some of the photographers that are out there that like what you provide to see these gorgeous photos up on social. You know, like you guys are so important to everybody. So I can't thank you guys enough as well. So since you were bringing up JCW, let's talk about Battle Bowl because I was there. I talked about this with Charlie Tiger last night, which we'll get into as well. But you got to team up with Dylan McKay, and you won over Jimmy Lloyd and Steve Sanders, and then you got entered into the Battle Ball. So let's talk about this, like your experience, what you were thinking, anything your mind goes to.
Honestly, it was really like it's such a different concept. I wrestled against Dylan McKay once, all the way last August in Indy in like a scramble match. So like I've never really teamed with him or anything like that. So I was like, hey man, really appreciate it if you don't screw this up for me, you know?
Yeah.
And it was really fun. Like the drawing, the battle royal at the end, even though, you know, I didn't win. It was like, it's such a cool concept and it keeps things different. Like it was very interesting to be a part of, you know what I mean?
Yeah. It was a different concept, like something that you haven't really saw. Me and MLJ talked about that it was just different, and that this will be probably something that they'll do every year.
Yeah, it's cool to like it's cool to like, you know, stay inside the lines, but sometimes like doing something different out and like, hey, let's have a battle bowl instead of like, hey, we're just going to announce a thrown together tag team tournament.
Right.
Nah, screw it. Like, we're having a battle bowl.
Yeah, no, definitely. I had so much fun at that show. I know you and me had talked after as well. It was just a fun show. I love Dylan. Dylan's one of my favorites. Like he's great. So it was nice to see you guys and like you worked, like I said, you worked Jimmy Lloyd and you worked Steve Sanders and then like all the craziness that happened in the bowl after. Really, really fun stuff. Love it over there. So let's talk about the fact that I'm from New York, right? And obviously, I mean, we have the pandemic, you know, had gone on, screwed up a lot of things in New York. And there's like, you know, a bunch of promotions in New York. But I find myself in New Jersey a lot. All right. So, but outside, you know, it's funny. So I'm aware of that. And I do watch some stuff on, you know, IWTV and Fight. And, you know, and it's nice because I feel like I got to know you because of like JCW and GCW, but I also love Black Label Pro. So let's talk a little bit about that, like IWA South, Black Label Pro, like any of like your experiences with those amazing companies as well.
Yeah, it's like, are you talking like mainly like the Midwestern?
Yeah, let's talk about like Midwest.
Yeah, absolutely. So like Paradigm Pro is what I would probably call my Midwest home. It is where I have been the Paradigm Pro Heavyweight Champion. They have done they're most known for probably having the UWFI tournaments. They have a big show coming up, I believe, October 15th in Indianapolis. I've been there for about 3.5 years, give or take. They do really good. They work. They have a lot of shows.
Yeah.
I've been lucky enough to work for Freelance Wrestling a lot lately in Chicago. They're pretty much always, you know, giving me opportunities to come up and just work with people and learn and get better with my my skill sets. And New Wave Pro in Terre Haute, like that's where I trained out of. You know, that's where I developed my skills and I really learned to be a wrestler. And I'm lucky enough to be able to go back there every now and then and work with some of the new students. And I'm not like a veteran or anything like that by any means. But just being able to be 6 years in and help somebody out and then, you know, help them get a little bit better is pretty cool to me. Right. If I can help them get better. If not, at least they can learn what not to do from me at least, right? Unsanctioned Pro in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
I'm the current.
Right. Yeah, that was gonna be my next question. I was gonna ask you that you're the Unsanctioned Pro champ. You know, that you beat Everett Cross, who I love dearly. Like,
I mean, if I do real quick.
Yes, look at that beauty. Look at that beauty. And Derek is amazing. Like, we've had him on the podcast.
He's okay.
He's okay. I gotta get to one of those shows. That I promise. Look at that.
Also, the current new Texas Pro Lone Stars.
Yes.
This belt is dangerous because I'm like to stab somebody with one of the stars ends.
Look how gorgeous.
Yeah, like I'm very, very grateful and very lucky to be able to work with a lot of Midwestern promotions. As you know, this is my home, and I take a lot of pride in Midwest. Like being able to work at Freelance and Paradigm and New Wave and Unsanctioned Pro and RPW and GCW, JCW, and just on a consistent basis, and having a lot of cool opportunities coming up, and being able to go down to Texas like I've been able to, and being able to make my debut in the Pacific Northwest when I beat the shit out of Sonico in a couple of weeks. Like, there's a lot of cool things I'm looking forward to.
Right. Nah, it's so cool, and the fact of, like I said, me wasn't 100 like very big onto the Midwest because of the fact that I say here I am in New York and everybody always assumes like, oh, New York has like the best, and I was like, I always find myself in Jersey and there's a million and it's so hard to keep up with everybody. But I do love, again, like my appreciation for GCW, JCW is like Brett brings in like a bunch of like new talent, and I'm like, ooh. And then like I brought up like Black Label Pro, like I'm so glad like Black Label Pro is coming back and soon, and they're gonna have this weekend actually, and we're gonna see them live again. That was another promotion that like Alex Zane and Blake Christian that I adored watching at those promotions, and Unsanctioned Pro and Black Label Pro are definitely on like my bucket list of that I must travel to. So hopefully one day like I get to come down, so you know, maybe you guys could show me around over in the Midwest. I would love to get over there, but it's so great.
Black Label Pro has a lot of good talent on their shows, and it's really exciting to be able to see them come back, and I'm looking forward to watching you.
Yeah.
But, like, it's awesome because anytime that they ever have a show, like Mikey likes to stack it up, and it's a banger of a show every time.
Right.
And Recup stuff's honestly not going to be any different.
Yeah, definitely. So let's talk H2O, because H2O has been a huge home for the No Holds Barred network, and obviously it's a soft spot for me. And let's talk about how wonderful Sean Henderson is. Like, I love him to death. So, and let's talk about your match with Marcus Matters, which was such a banger. So I'd love to see you work more of the H2O students in the future, like definitely. But so how's it been like working over there? Like,
I love going over there. Like being able to work with Marcus Mathers is, you know, he's a second generation wrestler and he's very, very talented, but there's some things he doesn't know just yet. And there's only some things you can show somebody when you're in there.
Right.
Sometimes you got to hit somebody in the ear first.
You guys killed me during your match, by the way. Like, Marcus was like on my lap at one point with you. I was like, what the heck? I'm a target, like, for you guys. Like, I swear to God, I think you guys do it on purpose. That, like, you just, like, all this fun stuff. Sean Patrick O'Brien, shout out to you. He's in the chat. He goes, much love to my bro. Proud of you, Cole.
Hi, Sean.
Yeah. Sean's been
buddy.
He's a good guy. You're another one making waves as well. He's put it on the network. If you guys haven't catch that interview, go back on the Under the Rope series and go check that out as well. So I have a couple of fan tweets from some fans. So this one's good cop, bad cop. He goes, has Cole Radrick ever been Rad Rick rolled?
Yeah, all that. I've been Rick rolled. I don't know what getting Rad Rick rolled is. So I'm going to say no, but I've been Rick rolled definitely multiple.
Oh my God. Okay. He loves messing with everybody on the podcast. Oh, well, speaking of which, let me backtrack that I had Charlie Tiger on last night, and I had asked him, because I was talking about all the upcoming talent that was coming up, and I wanted to know who he would like to work with, and you came up, obviously. And he said that he wouldn't win because you wouldn't get up from a headbutt of his. So, would you like to rebuttal off of that?
He thinks he could land a headbutt on me.
Okay.
What?
Go ahead, say what you're gonna say. No, nothing. Okay. So.
No, I mean, if he wants to try, you can fuck around and find out.
Oh, okay. I'm for this. Like, let's make this happen. Like, you know, maybe we'll see.
Let me know.
All right.
What's up, everyone? How we doing?
I love it. All right, you know what? Before I go into the next question, since I brought that up with him, all right. So again, so much upcoming talent, right? Obviously, like the possibilities are always endless, and there's always new students coming up. Has there anybody that has caught your eye that you would love to work with?
Honestly, I just want to wrestle the best out there. I just want to prove that in that ring against anybody on any given night, I'm one of the best wrestlers out there. It may not be true now if you don't believe it. That's understandable, but I think that I have all the potential in the world, and that's not me being cocky. I'm just really, really confident that I could be something cool. But for rest specific people, honestly, there's a couple out there. Edith, Surreal. I think that'd be a good, fun match. I'd like to run it back with Jordan Oliver.
Mm-hmm.
Alex Zane would be a great one. Dylan McKay one-on-one. I know we just teamed.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Lloyd one-on-one. I know he's not a new talent. Jimmy's been for a while. But I think there's a lot of interesting matchups out there. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, there's a lot. Again, it's like a loaded question, but I like to kind of see where people's minds go with all like upcoming talent of the possibilities of wrestling. Okay, so this is gonna be a fun kind of comment that I was told. So get ready for this one. So this one was meant to be anonymous. So I was told that you wrestled G-Raver at an AWR event, and the camera work was the best work ever. Would you like to elaborate on that?
The best work ever?
Sorry, I was told to phrase it like that. So. Your face explains like everything of the situation.
Here's my thing. I don't want it to be a negative thing towards AWR. Like that's. I think even Gary would admit that he wishes the camera and the light, everything else for that match would be 1,000 times better. I think me and both would agree on that.
Yeah.
Honestly, like I counted it like 12 death matches, but like anytime I do them, I try to make the ones that I'm in count because like I'm not trying to disrespect the art form. Like I've wanted to do them since I've started. Like JC Bailey was the first independent wrestler that I got into, and he was a hybrid deathmatch wrestler, and I've always seen myself as not a deathmatch guy, but a guy who is willing to go into death matches. Like that was like probably my first like real notable one. I guess a notable like guy, and then just the camera's just not being the best.
Yeah.
Like they didn't even have the roam cam. They only had a hard cam, and even then, like the lighting is like half out. So it just kind of sucks. But it is what it is. I got permanent scars on my butt because of it. It was a fun time. And yeah.
Okay.
I ain't here to bury nobody. Like
no, it wasn't. We weren't burying. We were just having some laughs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, no. It was a laughing comment that was said to me. So no. So. All right. So let's move on. So do you have any pre-match rituals?
Honestly, like I just really focus on not thinking. Mm-hmm. Like I just try to be as empty. Like hollow and just like I kind of just walk around. I'll put my hands in my pocket of the jacket and just kind of like kind of just stir and just sit in my and be in my own little world. And then like sometimes I'll just like have a song in my head and I'll just kind of like sing it and hum it to myself
Yeah.
or like, myself. And then like by the time I go out there, like I always take a little like half step breath and then I hit the curtain.
Okay. Okay. Uh, so the like another question I like to always ask is, like you're still like new in like you've been around and like you've been in a bunch of different types again, like singles, tag team, So is there a type of match that you would love to work that's like on your bucket list that you haven't done?
And like I really want to do like a legit DLC match. That'd be sick. Um,
Oh, so who would you work with and who would it be against?
to
Nothing. There's gotta
situ-
no.
um, that's like it would just be like when it would make sense or something like that. Um, anything where like stuff can be chaotic and unpredictable, like I would always want to try that.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, a gauntlet match that'd be kind of sweet. Like and where I get to start at the front and see what I can do.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Awesome, awesome. So what are some things you like to do when you're not in the squared circle?
Build derby cars.
Oh, how cool.
Work out. Honestly, about 90% of what I do. Sometimes me and my girlfriend will go out to the state park or we'll go out and do something, but I honestly just work out, derby cars, watch wrestling, watch MMA, and play video games.
Okay, okay. What's some goals that you would love to hit within wrestling?
Um, I think within a year, I would really, really like to just be working 3 times a week, every weekend. I'm pretty busy as it is now, like, which honestly, it would be attainable. I mean, non-COVID barring anything. Uh, I don't know. I really want to like establish myself as a guy.
Hmm.
I want people to know that anytime I'm on a show, like it's going to be one of the best matches on the card. Like I want people, whenever they see my name on the marquee, to get excited. To want to be like, oh, Cole Radrick's on the show. I'm buying a ticket. And there are some people like that, and I appreciate all those people because I see you and I appreciate the support. I want it all, man. I want the world.
You do it. Like I said, you've been extremely killing it. And Cody said in the chat, Oliver versus Radrick too. I need to make some moves. I see hashtag NFW. So love it. Love to see it. So I have one final question for you, and then we'll go into what's coming up for you. And if you guys have any other questions, please drop them into the chat. But I love to ask, like, for any inspiring and amateur wrestlers out there, what's a piece of advice that you would give?
The old the old adages still stay. Less is more. Just learning about what that means. Uh, Eyes and ears open, mouth shut is especially when you're new. It sounds like a bullying tactic, and I'm sorry if it comes across that way. But just listening to experienced wrestlers talk about their match and how they structure it and why they're doing certain things at a certain time are so vital to a wrestler. Hopping in cars with people, like I can't tell you how many times it's just been me, Mouse, and Billy going to. You know, we have 2 open spots for anybody that wants to get in the car, or sometimes we have an open spot and like somebody just wants to go with us, but they don't want to drive, and even then that's fine. Like, get in cars and travel. Like don't be afraid to get out of your circle. Like if somebody's telling you, "Hey, don't travel," they're probably, unless they have like a legitimate reason, they're probably just stuck in their ways. I've had so many people when I first started tell me like, "Hey, man, like you're wasting your time. Like you need to wrestle at this show that's 30 minutes from your house," and it's like, yeah, but I could also set up connections for a year from now if I'm really dope that I can go wrestle in Jersey or I can go wrestle in Tennessee or I can go wrestle in Chicago or Illinois or Chicago's in Illinois, Broad, Illinois, Ohio. Like there's so much wrestling out there. Do not limit to yourself. where you're at. Um, Try and just be as cool as you can to people. Like, treat others the way you want to be treated. Um, just do your best. Don't suck.
No, that's definitely great advice. I love it because there's
Nobody,
always. Hmm?
I'm nobody at the end of the day.
That's not true. Stop. You're
But
not nobody.
but in the grand scheme of like professional wrestling, I'm
Yeah.
still cutting my teeth, and I get that. But like that is what I would. That's what I would still tell myself if I was, still breaking in.
No, it's any advice is always like great advice. Like I said, there's always fans. I mean, I just got a message earlier that was sent to me about my wrestling with positivity video with some of the stuff that I had did, and one of the wrestlers was speaking about his story, and they was like, "Oh, I want to be a wrestler," and it's one of my fans. So I love asking that with anybody that comes onto this podcast because again, you never know who you're inspiring. So I can't thank you enough for like coming here and giving like great advice to all these fans that, again, maybe they are training, maybe they're looking to get into training and want to do what you do. And again, you're killing it. You're amazing. You're all over the place. Like,
I appreciate it.
keep doing what you're doing. So, with
Yeah.
that being said, let's talk about you are a busy man. Like, oh my goodness, let's talk about like some of the stuff you got going. I'm probably sure I didn't even hit everything that you have coming up here. So why don't you tell us like what's some stuff that's coming up that people can watch you at, or if they can go to the shows itself and see you.
So this Thursday, tomorrow I'll be at GCW Detroit wrestling Alley Catch. Friday night I'll be at Freelance Wrestling. Sorry, I know I'm going to be looking this way a lot. My calendar's over there. It's going to help us both. This Friday night I'll be at Freelance Wrestling, and I'm teaming with Billy and Marcus Mathers to wrestle Davey Bang, August Matthews, and Chris Castro. Then September 11th, I will be in Columbus, Ohio for Paradigm Pro UWFI. I think Ohio Wrestling Association Paradigm Pro are doing a joint show for that. See here. Ooh.
Like you got NFW and Gary J in October at NFW because I have that one.
That's I think the 16th of October.
Yes.
October 16th, I'll be at Paradigm. I'll be in New York City coming up for the coming up soon. I'll also be at New Tech Pro on September 25th, and I'll be in Washington September 6th.
Yeah.
So that's 3 states in 4 days.
You're gonna need a lot of like coffee or an energy drink.
And the thing is I just now got into coffee, so
I love it. As he sips his drink. I love it. I love it. There you go.
Coffee.
Gotta need that H2O. So tell everybody where they can find you if they want to follow you, support you, where they can buy your merch.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do have a What a Maneuver. If you look up Cole Radrick in the search bar, you should be able to find that. Variety issue shirts. I also believe I got my my Wild Heart Dale design up as well. Pretty cool. Go cop one. I also am on social medias at Cole Radrick, COLERADRICK. I just hit 6K followers on Twitter. No big deal. Got like almost 3,000 on Instagram. So if you're watching this and you want to go give me a follow on Instagram, that's pretty cool too. And yeah, that's where you can find me.
Awesome. All those links are in the description below. Go give some love. Go give some support. Go buy some merch. Go bother him at the shows. Go do some meet and greets.
Come talk to me. I'm pretty boring. I know. I'm pretty plain, especially at shows. But if you want to come talk to me, if you want to buy, some stickers or an 8x10, I probably have some on me. And or if you just want to come talk and shoot the shit, what's up?
Nah, it's so good. Like I have like some of those friends that get like so nervous to go talk to. I was one of those people many moons ago, and now here I am. bothering everybody, which is great. And I love seeing even like the kids. I mean, I saw, I brought one of my friend's kids, the one that has cerebral palsy, over to you. She loves guys. Like she'll walk away from the girls, but she loves guys. It's the most funniest thing to watch. Like she just like walks past. It's like, oh, a guy. Okay, let me go over there. So it's great. Again, like it's great stuff that you guys do, even for like people like me and people like that. It's just keep killing it in the wrestling scene.
Appreciate that. Absolutely. I would say, like, I'm glad that we were able to do this.
Yeah.
You know, you had told me that you had talked to Mouse and to Billy and to Marcus. Yeah. Obviously, cool with them. You're probably cool with me.
Awesome. I love it. I'm so glad that you came on again. I really, really appreciate it. So, and I'll definitely see you soon. I'll see you at one of the shows. I'm waiting for another JCW show to come up, but I will definitely be at the NFW show, so you'll see me backstage. Maybe we'll do some stuff backstage for the Indie Talk series on the No Holds Barred Network as well. So you guys make sure you're subscribed to No Holds Barred Network. So I guess that is going to conclude our episode today, guys. So Cole, thank you again so much for joining us and chatting with us today. Keep killing it. So, and guys, stay safe, support independent wrestling and all that fun stuff, and we will talk to you guys soon. Have a good night.